Hello everyone, welcome to the DirtyByrdz. We have quite a spectacle waiting for you today. We have Muldrotha the Gravetide, the Dragon, Uril the Miststalker, and a brand new commander, Ghyrson, Starn, Kelermorph, all ready to take to the skies for battle. If you like what you see, please feel free to hit that like and subscribe button for more content. Mick starts off playing a Swamp for turn, passing to Josh. Josh plays Jetmir's Garden, tapped, passing to Ezra. Ezra plays a Forest, tapping it for a green mana to cast Soul Ring. Jens' turn, passing it to Chase. Chase plays a tapped Sulphur Falls, passing back to Mick. Mick plays a Transguild Promenade for turn, passes. Josh plays a Cavern of Souls, naming dragons, taps for colorless and a red mana in order to cast Orb of Dragonkind, ending his turn. Ezra plays a Mountain, tapping out to cast Sky Shroud Claim, searching for 2 forests and putting them onto the battlefield. He will not cast anything else for a turn and passes. Chase plays a Forbidden Orchard for turn and taps Sulphur Falls for a blue mana, casting Preordained to scry for 2, then draws a card. He returns both cards to the top of his library and draws, passing the turn. Mick plays an Island for turn, passes. Josh untaps, cries inside, and passes to Ezra. Ezra pays 2 life and plays an untapped Temple Garden. He then proceeds to tap his Soul Ring for 2 colorless, the Temple of Garden for a white mana, a forest, and a mountain to cast Uril the Miststalker. He ends his turn. Chase plays an island and then proceeds to tap out, giving a colorless 1/1 spirit token to Mick and casts Ghyrson, Starn, Kelermorph. Mick plays an island, tapping out and casting Plea for Power. Mick and everyone else quickly votes for Knowledge, allowing him to draw 3 cards. During the cleanup phase, he discards a Cure, the Crashing Waves, and an Acidic Slime to get back down to 7 cards in hand. Josh draws for turn, feels his soul leave his body, and ends his turn, discarding a Scourge of the Throne to hand size. Ezra taps his Soul Ring in Temple Garden to cast Battle Mastery onto Uril, giving him double strike. He then taps a Mountain to cast Messenger Speed on Uril, giving him Trample and Haste. Uril, now a 9/9 hasty, trampley, double strikey boy, attacks Mick for 18 life and ends his turn. Chase then plays a Chrome Mox, exiling Wheel of Misfortune. Chase taps all of his mana to cast Mana Barbs. After playing an island for turn, Mick taps a Swamp and Island, taking 1 damage per tap from Mana Barbs and 2 damage per Mana Barbs trigger from Ghyrson, and casts Simic Signet. He passes to Josh. Josh draws a card, cries at his endless torment, and discards O Kagachi, Vengeful Kami, as he ends his turn. Ezra plays a Mountain and taps a Forest and a Temple Garden to cast Quasili Pride Mage. He took 6 damage from Mana Barbs and Ghyrson, and swings at Mick to knock him out for the rest of the game. Chase plays a Mountain, taps it, and the Crom Mox for 2 red mana, taking 3 damage from Mana Barbs and Ghyrson, and casts Cathartic Reunion. He discards Mox Opal and Goblin Sharpshooter. He then draws 3 cards. Josh draws and immediately moves to discard Garruk's Uprising. Ezra begins his turn by playing a tap Shivan Oasis, tapping Temple Garden in a forest for white and green mana. He casts Safi, Edric's Daughter. He declares an attack at Chase with Uril, triggering Quasali Pride Mage's Exalted ability and giving Uril +1/+1 till end of turn. Chase declares no blockers and takes 20 commander damage. During Ezra's end step, Chase taps a Mountain, taking 3 damage from Ghyrson and Mana Barbs to cast Electrickery, targeting Safi. Electrickery deals 1 damage to Safi, and Ghyrson deals an additional 2 damage on top of that, killing Safi. During Chase's turn, he taps a Mountain and the Mox Opal, taking 3 damage from Ghyrson and Mana Barbs to cast Young Pyromancer. Josh draws and immediately discards a Balefire Dragon as he ends his turn. He is flabbergasted and comments on how he actually runs 36 lands and yet hasn't drawn a single one of them. Ezra plays a tap Myriad Landscape for turn and immediately swings Uril at Chase, triggering Quasali Pride Mage. Chase takes the full 20 damage and is knocked out of the game. Josh finally draws a land and plays Deathcap Blade for the turn. He taps out and casts Goldspan Dragon. Ezra starts off by playing a Sajiri Step, tapped, and gives Uril protection from red until end of turn. He attacks Josh with Uril, triggering Quasali Pride Mage. Josh takes the full 20 commander damage and Ezra passes turn. Josh draws and plays a Reflecting Pool for turn. He declares an attack at Ezra with Goldspan Dragon. Upon attack, Goldspan Dragon creates a treasure token. Ezra declares no blockers and takes 4 damage. Josh anxiously passes the turn. Ezra swings with Uril at Josh, triggering Quasali Pride Mage. In response, Josh taps Jetmir's Garden and sacrifices the treasure token to gain a total of 3 white mana and casts Safari's Protection. Desperately clinging on to life, Josh begins his turn. He plays a Windswept Heath and immediately cracks it. Ezra also cracks his Myriad Landscape to search for 2 basic lands and puts them onto the battlefield. Josh gets a Stomping Ground into play, paying 2 life. He attacks Ezra with Goldspan Dragon for 4 damage and creates a treasure token. He then casts Sneak Attack during his second main phase. He passes the turn to Ezra. During Josh's end step, Ezra taps 3 land to cast Corrosion Grip, targeting Sneak Attack. Due to the split second, Josh can't cast anything in response to possibly save his life, and Sneak Attack gets destroyed. Ezra begins his turn, plays a land, and proceeds to swing Uril at Josh, winning the game.